Kadosh Boker Or, Masechet Chullin, Daf Yomi, Daf Yud Bet Amud Aleph 12a1, says the Gemara. Okay, we're by the two dots, so it's 4 lines down. Amar Rav Nachman. Amar Rav Nachman, Amar Rav, says Rav Nachman, name of Rav. Ra'a echad sheshachat. If a person comes and he sees somebody do shechita, Im ra'o mitchila v'ad sof, if you saw him from the beginning of the shechita until the end and everything was done properly, mutar lechol mishchitato, you're allowed to eat from the shechita. V'im lav, and if not, asur lechol mishchitato, you're not allowed to. Says the Gemara, 1 second, what's the case? Hechidami, what's the case exactly? Idi adad de gamid, if you know that the guy is known to know ilchot shechita, so why do you have to see him? Lama lira, why do you have to see him? V'idi yada de lo gamid, if you know that he doesn't know the halachot shechita, so pshita, obviously, that you're not allowed to eat from a shechita if you didn't see him. But rather, right? You don't know if he knows it or not. So says the Gemara, what do we have? We have a rov. We already learned this. You remember we said that there was a majority. The rov was the majority of people that they come and they do shechita, they know the halachot. So therefore, why don't we just have that? Right? I remember once somebody told me that nowadays you don't say that anymore. But once upon a time, you had the majority of people that they were doing shechita, they knew the halachot. Milo Tanya, didn't we learn on the matzah? Tarnegolet shchuta b'shuk, or shamal shluchot. If you find a tarnegolet done shchita in the shuk, or if you see, you come, you tell your shaliach, tzeh shchot, v'alach u'matzah shachut, cheskato shachut, it is going to be done, chazaka, that it's done properly. Alma amnina, rov b'tzuyin, tzeh shchita mumchinen. Hachana milema rov b'tzuyin, tzeh shchita mumchinen. Answers the Gemara, leolam diada de logamir. Really, be'emet, you know that the person does not know hilchot shchita. Well, go on, for example, the shachat kaman chad siman shapir. You only did one siman good, right? Now, the truth is, though, you didn't see the shchita of the second siman. Remember that by a bird, it's enough one siman. But by an animal, you need 2 simanim. And by the way, it's a majority. You don't need the full siman. It's a majority of one and a majority of 2, right? Meaning like the majority of both simanim, right? So, ma'udetema, I would have thought to say, midahai shapir, hachnami shapir. Yes, by off it's 1, majority of 1 siman. No, אנחנו מדברים כשאתה עושה את השחיטה. Okay? So I would have thought to say, midahai shapir, nami hai shapir, which means that the fact that he did 1 siman good, the rest he also did the good. Kamash malan, hai trumu trumu. He says, no, it could be that you just did it happen to be. Idach, maybe the other siman, shema shao, shema dras, maybe you waited, or maybe that he did it pasul, right, because of how he did it. So Ba'ami Rav Dimi, right, but Yosef, Rav Yosef. So comes Rav Dimi, but Yosef, and he comes and he asks, right, from Rav Nachman, if a person comes and he tells the shaliach, Tzeu shchot, go out to do shchita. Valach u'matzah shachut, he goes there and he finds it already done shchita to it. Ma'u atzalacha? Amalo cheskato shachut. He says it's a chazakah that was done the shchita to it. Haomel shluchot tzeu trom, if he goes and tells his shaliach, go do the trumot u'masrot for me, valach u'matzah trum, and then he found it already done the trumah, ma'u atzalacha? Amalei, he says, it's not good. So he says, what's the difference? Right? If it's going to be a chazakah, shliach otze shluchoto, so afilu truma nami. If you're going to tell me there's a chazakah that a shliach, he does his messenger. Meaning when you come and you send somebody to do something, usually there's a chazakah that he's going to do what he was told. So even truma should be the same halacha. Now if you're going to tell me en chazakah, if you're going to tell me that the shliach does not do his message, like his job, so afilu shchita nami lo. Samalei comes into answers him lechitechul ala kura de milcha. Right, when you're going to come and you're going to measure for me a kur of melach, right, and you're going to give it to me, I'm going to explain it to you. Yeah, you know what he just did. A kur is an enormous amount. Melach is of salt, so you're gonna have to measure it exactly. You know how difficult it is. That's like telling you you have to measure the sand, but not just give me 100 kilos of sand. You understand? Nowadays, maybe even right. And even nowadays, maybe they're going to come, they're going to tell you, listen, it goes by weight, they put in the bags, but you know what it is to go count yourself and, get all the huge amount of the sand. It's very, very difficult. So he says, Leolam really be'emet, en chazakah shliach oseh shchuto. We don't have a chazakah like that. Meaning it's not for sure that you send somebody to do something that he's going to do it. Ushchita, right? Inami dilemein shachrin shama ve'azal v'shachat. It could be the shchita, maybe what happened was he heard somebody saying it, and maybe he did it, the shchita for you. So Rov Metziyin, it's a shchita mumchinen. The majority are going to be mumchin. Truma, dil ma'inish ve'chashama ve'azal tara, maybe somebody else did it. Havel etorem shalom midat. It's shalom midat. V'torem shalom midat, truma. Meaning like this. I'm going to ask you a question. You come and you do shechita. Does shechita need to be lishma? No. Does shechita need to be that for me? No. if you do shchita for me, as long as the animal is shachut, Gamarnu, that's it. Truma is not the same. Truma, you need the permission to do the truma. Because if not, you cannot take off truma for me. You can't just come and say, Rabbi, I already took off your truma. It doesn't help, right? It has to be with my permission or I do it. But if not, you cannot do it for me. So that's the difference between shechita and truma. That's why he says, Torem shalom midat, Torem shalom midat, and trumato truma. Right? They learn it for the pasuk. Ken tarimu gam atem trumat Hashem. Gam is l'rabot that it has to be davka balabait atzmo or somebody that's coming from the dat of the balabait. It cannot just be done on its own. Right? That means you want to be a nice guy. You come to me, you say, Rabbi, I already took off the trumot for you. Doesn't help. You need my permission. It has to be with my dat.
If I give something and I did the tefillah clean for you, it's good?
Only if you're makned it to him, yeah.
הוא קנה לו משהו, מתנה, הוא טבע לזה לפני שהוא הביא לו מתנה.
זה לא טוב.
Before you give him the gift.
No, it's not a gift. I bought a dish for my son, and I said there was a place to do tefillah kilim behind the store. I did tefillah kilim. Here is for you. It's good.
That's a gift.
Same thing. What I say.
A gift is not good. A gift, unless you acquire it to him, it has to be his. Because if not, then you didn't buy it for yourself. So then you're not obligated to Tvilat Kilim. So how did you do Tvilat Kilim to it? It has to be that you give it to him. Huh? What does that mean? But you didn't give it to him yet. You didn't give it to him yet. You didn't give it to him. So therefore you can do it. It doesn't help. So says the Gemara, yeah, by the Truma, it doesn't help. Because Truma Mishalomidat doesn't help. So says the Gemara, Leima, we're going to say Rov Mitziyun, it's a Shchita Mumchina, and it's Tanai. It's actually Machlok Tanaim. The Tanya was learned to the Braita. Resha Avdulo Gedayav Tanegolav. Imagine a person comes and he loses a Gdi or Tanegol. Falach Matzat Shchutim. All of a sudden he comes and he finds them, they're already slaughtered. Rabbi Yudah says that it's going to be asur to eat it. Rabbi Chanina, the son of Rabbi Yosef, says it's going to be mutar. Amar Rebbe, Nidin Dvarim Rabbi Yudah Keshematza B'Hashpa. I understand the words of Rabbi Yudah when he finds it in the Mashpa. Why? Because if it's in the garbage, it probably wasn't done a good shchita. And Rabbi Chanina Baruch Rabbi Yosef is going to be Keshematza B'Bayit when you found them in the house. My love is not going to be. בהקה מפלגד, דמור סבר אמנינן רוב מצוין אצל שחיטה ממחינן, ומור סבר לא אמנינן רוב מצוין אצל שחיטה ממחימן. So Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak says Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. Yeah, he comes and he says, lo dechule alma, because according to everybody, rov mitzuyin etzel shchita mumchinen. Ubebait, right? Ubebait dechule alma lo pligi d'shalin. In the house, for sure, it's going to be there's no machloket. Be'ashva shebashuk dechule alma pligi d'asur. There, everyone's going to say it's going to be asur. Why? If it's in the garbage bin, obviously it wasn't done properly. Ki pligi when it's a machloket be'ashva bebait. In the ashva in the house. More savar adam esul latil v'tov be'ashva bebait. Some people say they'll put the nevela inside the house by the garbage in the house. More savar and adam esul latil nevela be'ashva bebait. And some people say it's not going to do it. Why? It's got a reach ra. It's got a bad thing. Huh?
ChatGPT says that you are allowed to veil it and to give it to the.
So says the Gemara, okay, Amar Mor says, Amar Rabbi says, Nirin diver Rabbi Yudah shematzam b'ashpa. It looks like the words of Rabbi Yudah when you find it in the dumpster. My ashpa. If you're going to tell me it's ashpa b'shuk in the marketplace, you already said everybody agrees that it's going to be asur. Amar d'chula lo pligid asur. El alav. Tama pshita sheba b'ashpa shebait. Ein maseifa. Let's see the seifa. Divrei Rabbi Chanina v'rov Rabbi Yosef shematzam b'bait. My bite. What does it mean the bite? Ilim. If you're going to tell me bite mamash, hamar d'chula lo pligid shadi. It's going to be permitted. El pshita. We're talking about the ashpot shebait. So kasha the Rabbi. So then it's a contradiction between Rabbi and Rabbi, because in the Reisha you said ashpa shebabayit is going to be asur, meaning the dumpster in your house, the garbage bin in your house is going to be asur, like Rabbi Yehuda. And then you said that really bemet it's going to be permitted, like Rabbi Segel. So it's a stira. So you'd bet mubet hachi kamar. This is what it say. Nirin divrei Rabbi Yehuda. It appears that the words of Rabbi Yehuda, right? Even to Rabbi Chanina, the son of Rabbi Segel, b'ashpash b'shuk. She'af Rabbi Chanina beno shel Rabbi Segel lo nechlak alav ela b'ashpash b'bayit, only in the ashpa in the house. Aval b'ashpash b'shuk module. But if it's going to be the ashpa in the shuk, he's going to agree to him, right? The what? That it's going to be a sur. Okay, nekuda, 2 dots. Says we said that everybody's going to be kosher for the shchita, right? To doing shchita, and the shchita is going to be kosher except for a cheresh shotev v'katan. Why? Because maybe they're going to destroy the shchita. So says the Gemara, that was another Mishnah. So he says, Shema kilkelu loktani, ela Shema yekalkelu. It doesn't say Shema kilkelu in the past tense. It says in the future tense. Now, what's going on exactly? אמר רבא, זאת אומרת, הם עושים להם חולין לכתחילה. Do you know you don't give them חולין לכתחילה? Why? Because if they're going to come and they're going to get it, it could be that we're going to be suspecting that maybe they're going to be mekalkel everything. Right? So the same thing. So he comes and he says now, וכולן ששחטו, ואחרים רואים אותו בשחיטה כשרה. Man tana de lo me'inin kavana l'shchita. Who's the one that says that by shchita you don't need kavana? Meaning you don't need kavana, right? And that's what we said. I think maybe this was what Tomer was speaking about beforehand. Let's say I have a kli, and it falls into a tevilat kelim mikveh. It's good because you don't need kavana, but there's a difference. But you need baalim. You need the tanaim that it's yours. You need that there's a chiyuv. You understand? Because if there's no chiyuv, what does it help that it fell inside? Right? It's not about chiyuv yet. So he says the same thing here. Shchita was done. Shchita's kshera. You don't need kavana. So Rav says, Rabbi Natan, it's Rabbi Natan. The Tanya Oshaya Zirem Demin Chavaraya Zarak Sakin Lenotzak. Imagine right now you take a knife and you throw it against the wall. Ve'alcha v'shachta kedarka b'l'ayin hara. You got a good bullseye and you did shchita with a sakin. So imagine I'm throwing the sakin at the wall. You know, remember I have the darts, right, and the picture. Axe throwing. Okay, so imagine you've got the picture, right, to the most wanted, right, to the guy that's missing in action for a few days, right, and you've got the darts, right. So imagine you take it, but you don't do it. Darts is nothing. Take a knife, right. You take, whoops, and all of a sudden it hurts him. You remember we said that was a mazal, right? So what happens, right? You come, you throw it, all of a sudden there's shchita on the way. Blayin hara. Yeah. So what happens? He says, Rabbi Natan says it's going to be kosher. Chachamim says it's going to be pasul. Yeah. So hutani lavu amala lachak Rabbi Natan. We actually paskin like Rabbi Natan. What does that mean? That you don't need. It's kosher. You don't need kavanah. You don't need kavanah on the shchita. So even without the kavanah, it's going to be okay. So says the Gemara, va'bayina molichu mevi. Yeah, but you need the knife to go up and down, right? What does that mean? Right? Molicha letzad echad mevi alav lechazara. You need that it's going up and down. How does it? So he says alcha uba kedarka. He says it means that it cut the simanim on the way there, right? And then what happened was it hit the wall, right? And it came back, it boomerang back, right? Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like that, yeah. So Amar Rabbi Chia Baraba. Yeah. Let's see. So Amar Rabbi Chia Baraba, by Rabbi Yochanan, Katan yesh lo machshava or machshava. Does it help the Katan for the kavanah or not? Samaleh Rabbi Yami v'tibay le'maaseh. You need the maaseh. Ma'ishna maaseh delo kamibay le'ditran yesh le'maaseh. Machshava damit lo tibay le. You don't need the maaseh. You don't need the machshava as well. Ditran en le'machshava. Ditran alon v'rimon v'agosh. Chadim don't call lamod ba'inafar. Imagine right now the Ktanim, they took it in order to start measuring, right? Or sheiknitu shetiknum kavozayim, or they come and they put it for the takavozayim. To me, it's going to be tameh. Why? Sheyesh le'em maaseh. They have an action, so it comes out, right? That if so, there's also maaseh machshava, which are going to be kovea to do with the klipa to the Torah kli, right? Ve'en lahem machshava, but they don't have machshava then by itself without an action. Meaning machshava and maaseh they do have, but machshava levad they don't have. Machshava by itself they don't have it. So Elmaleh machshava, you're right. We don't have this question. We only have the question when it's machshava is going to be nikar from the maaseh, and then we're going to continue from there. Bezrat Hashem.